Awesome. How's it going, everyone? My name is Arya Black. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk. Today we're talking all about the Siamese trade paperback. It's going to be a good one. Stick around, guys. Normally I have a co-host on for these shows. We've got Jacobus on today, but he's not here just yet. So stick around. He'll be joining us shortly, and he's going to tell you all about our new project, our new bargain bin project, Twisted Fairy Tales. Just before I do that, allow me to share my screen with you one more time, because I'll quickly talk about my solo book, The Adventures of Taylor in Outer Space, which has just landed on Indiegogo. It's currently in the mailing list stage, so you can go over there, sign up, and when you sign up, you'll be receiving free exclusive merch by legendary Mary Boys artist Chubb. I'll tell you a bit more about that in just 1 second. Let me quickly say hi to the chat. We got DojoKun, who we'll be talking today. He's in the chat. K Manifesto, all the way from the US. How's it going, my dude? Tank Ferret's in. How's it going? Michael McCartney. And we got K Manifesto again. Thanks, guys, for showing up. I hope you enjoyed the show today. Let me crack on with my little pitch. So free merch by Chubb when you sign up. All the links in the description for all the various projects you're going to see on today's show. So if you're a fan of 90s Saturday morning cartoons like the Thundercats, Transformers, or the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you are absolutely going to love Taylor's. Now, for the first time, you're going to be able to collect all 4 currently released Taylor's mini comics, plus 2 extra comics that have never seen the light of day before. No one has ever read them before. One of which is going to include the very special Taylor's Not Daredevil crossover. So if you want to find out who killed Captain Fuckhead, make sure you back the book. The mystery will be solved. Right. So you're going to get all 6 Taylor's mini comics, plus a massive bonus section where you're going to see the complete evolution of Taylor's from all the way back in his humble beginnings, all the way through to his current muscle-bound Comicsgate iteration. So like I said, the sign-up perk, when you sign up for absolutely free, you will be receiving this beautiful artwork by Chubb featuring Taylor's and Harry of the Mary Boys. And one last thing. Remember, we have that very special unlockable 7th mini comic. As soon as we hit full funding on this campaign, we will unlock the very special 7th mini comic. It's special because it will be the prelude, the first glimpse into the first full-size Taylor's issue, which will be the following project after this one. So make sure you get on it. You're going to want to unlock that 7th mini comic. It's going to take us to over 50 pages of pure story alone. So remember, that's The Adventures of Taylor in Outer Space, only on Indiegogo. Links in the description, and make sure you check it out. There we go. I'll stop sharing for there. Our co-host today, Jacobus, is in the chat posting links. Thanks for that, my dude. The Adventure Taylors. Make sure you check that one out. My friend Bristolian Dave, all right, me bubbers. He's in the chat. And there's Jacobus again. Okay, so he'll be joining us in just a bit. Before then, let me bring on the man of the hour. We have DojoKunComics. How's it going, my friend?
Hey, how you doing, CG UK? From over here in the States, what's known as the Mitten, Michigan.
What's known as the Mitten? He's just telling me he's in the thumb of the Mitten.
That's right.
Yeah. Awesome. What do they call you? Call people from Michigan again?
The Michiganders.
Michiganders. That's cool.
There seems to be a debate. Some people think it's Michiganian, but I think it's Michigander.
Michigander sounds like a Lord of the Rings type of people. Like,
yeah, exactly. I like it.
I like it. It's very cool. So, tell me a little bit about yourself, then, my friend.
Okay.
How did you get into comics? What's your sort of inspirations? Go on.
Well, when I was 7 years old, we were headed to Florida for a trip, and we would drive there rather than fly. So Dad let me buy a couple of comics for the road, and I have been hooked ever since. So at 7 years old, I said, that means I've been collecting for 47 years. So longer than a lot of folks have been alive. And I can tell you included. So about 7 or 8 years ago, I decided I'd like to try my hand at writing them, since I was so familiar with reading them all that time. And I wrote a ship for She-Hulk, and I wanted to submit it to Marvel. And basically, after scouring their website, discovered that, yeah, they basically say, you don't submit to us. You got to go get published, and we'll find you. So I did. I went and joined two small press companies, and then after that, I broke out on my own and started DojoKunComics. And that was about in the beginning of 2018 that I started my own company.
Hey, that's cool. So it's actually a relatively recent development that you've gone out on your own into comic books then.
Relatively recent, although this is my first Indiegogo campaign, my first crowdfunding campaign at all. I have published 12 comic books previously,
Oh,
so I'm not new to publishing.
yeah. So you're actually in that short time fairly experienced then. That's cool.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, nice one. Which yeah, that's a good selling point for your book because I've been on streams with you before. I've heard you mention it. People don't need to worry about the sort of the problems that go along with a first time project. Even though it's your first time Indiegogo, you've successfully created comic books in the past. That's a good selling point for you, I think.
You know, another thing that makes it so that people can pledge with confidence is that this trade paperback, as you mentioned, it's a 4-issue miniseries that I've previously published. So all of the content is done. The the trade paperback's also going to include, though, things like a behind-the-scenes concept art. It's going to have a fan art section, a pro art section. So it's going to be over 100 pages, this trade paperback is.
Oh, that's cool. So yeah, backers don't need to worry about the sort of those projects that fulfill, and then 6 months later, the artwork is still getting done.
Right,
It's
right.
ultimately done.
It's all done.
They're going to receive even more content in the trade paperback that they haven't seen before, I take it.
That's right.
Hey, awesome. Dave says that you've got it right. That's the dream, having your own publishing company.
I agree. Thanks, Dave. Yeah, there is a group of folks here in the States that are putting together a team of artists and writers called Brain Cage. And well, in fact, it includes Kimosabe from Australia. It's Greg Levitra from the States here, and Stefani Renee is a part of it. And the reason I bring them up is they asked me to come on board, but I had already established this universe of my own of over 100 characters. So when we go to my site, in just a bit, I can show you the Dojo-kun annual compendium that I put together that has all of my characters with their stats and origins and all that in it as well.
Oh, cool. 100 characters.
Yes. Would that be a good segue to go have a look at that website so I can show you what I've been talking about?
Get your website up. We'll bring it up on screen.
Okay. So here you can see the 4 issues of Siamese right here at the top. These 4 covers will be included in the trade paperback, but it's going to have its own new cover. And in fact, there will also be 5 variant covers that come along with it, one of which will be a limited edition hardcover drawn and colored by the Barton brothers, Clayton and Corey.
Oh, cool.
So if you sign up, I might as well mention it now while it's here on the screen. If you sign up for the pre-launch, which is available now, you will get a postcard print of this cover over here, the one where the gals are in werecat form. It'll be a virgin version, though, because it won't have all the cover dressings and all that. It'll just be the picture. So that will be the postcard print if you sign up now and then later back the book.
I was going to say that on this screen, obviously you've got 8 different covers there. That one that's going to be a print looks amazing. It caught my eye straight away.
Oh, good.
Whole visuals of it. It's awesome.
I'm going to scroll down a bit so you can see some of the other comic books that DojoKunComics has put together. Here's the compendium I mentioned. These are just the heroes on the cover. There's over 100 characters, like I said, inside. It's my homage to the official handbook of the Marvel Universe. So that's the kind of setup that's inside.
Oh, cool.
I've also got this one here, Toro Tales, on the far left. The Toro, by the way, is the stone lantern that you see in the Dojo-kun logo.
Right.
A lot of what I'm doing here is sort of related to the Japanese. Dojo-kun, by the way, means the 5 rules of the karate dojo. I've been a karate student since college. So I like those 5 rules and try to live by them. So I thought, yeah, that'd be a great name. And the lantern in it is the name of this one, Toro Tales. It's an anthology book. This one includes 4 stories. It's got the mermaids, Halia and Ondine, H2O, Bot 42, Lone Shark, and Sparrow. Now, this one is available if you come to my website and click on it. But I'll let you know, too, that Toro Tales #2 is in production. It's about, I'd say, 75% done. It's going to be over 100 pages with 12 different stories inside. So Nightmas and the Scarlet Archer would be my homage to the old days when Marvel would have like Iron Man and Submariner, or the Hulk and Captain America, where they would share an issue and each would have a small story inside. That's what this one's like.
Oh,
The
okay.
first appearance of Nightmas, the Scarlet Archer, and Canadian Shield is in that one as well.
I love those kind of books. I was a fan of like Marvel 2-in-1, where you got the Thing and
Oh, that is the perfect segue. Thank you, Arya. That's what this book here is. Alliances is my homage to that kind of book. Breathtaker, who you see up here in the corner, and I'll show you a better picture in a second. She's going to be the host every issue of Alliances, and then it'll be a rotating guest star, just like Marvel Team Up, Marvel 2-in-1, DC Comics Presents, or Brave and the Bold. And I have in one of my ads, I said, if all of those guest stars want to be there with those four guys, why would somebody want to be with Breathtaker? Well, here's Breathtaker.
exactly.
Any questions?
So Breathtaker is the carry-on character, the one that is that? Am I?
Yes, she's the one who will be like the host of every issue of Alliances.
Yeah.
She makes her debut in Siamese #2.
She's
you can
always
see
my favorite character, so I see why.
she's also in issue #3. So yeah, she's around, and as you can tell by the fact that she's in all of these, this is a connected superhero universe that I've created. So all of these relate to one another. They'll sometimes have guest stars from each other's books, and that is those. The Loved Ones was a concept created by David Whalen. I wrote the book, and then he did the art and lettering. This is the two covers of the same book. It's over 100 pages. It's a black and white book, and it's a horror adventure. So we've got a wolf boy, a vampire boy, a witch girl, and the son of Frankenstein. And they go on an adventure looking for their parents.
Cool.
And I can tell you that things do not go well. The Mad King is a 3-issue miniseries. There's only 2 of them available right now. The great things about this one is that David Whalen, the one who did the Loved Ones with me, did the cover of #1. #2 was the cover was painted by Annette Bell, and every panel inside of both issues so far is a painting by Annette. So that makes it a little different, that it's all paintings inside. And #3,
you don't see that too often, not even in the mainstream. That's cool.
Right, that's underway. #3 is underway now. I Am Become Death is it's a short story. It's only 12 pages of comic books content, but then in order to meet the minimum of Indie Planet's requirement of 22 pages, I filled the rest of the pages with pinups of Breathtaker. So
Cool.
that could be a selling point right there. Deanna Hammer of the Angels is a miniseries that'll be 4 issues, and it follows directly after Siamese. So that's why the Siamese trade paperback, which we'll talk about in detail soon, is a nice starting off point for DojoKunComics. It's the first comics I published, and it'll lead right into this 4-issue miniseries. And so you're aware, #1 is almost done already of Deanna Hammer of the Angels. We're on page 19 of 22. So things are rocking and rolling with that one.
Okay.
And then when that 4-issue miniseries is done, this is the ongoing team book, Trident's New Alliance. So all the characters that are introduced in Siamese and Deanna will be in this book on this team. You can see Siamese are sitting here on the chair in the ottoman. Deanna is there. There's Breathtaker, and etc. So I've got about 7 or 8 issues of that already scripted too. So I've got about 7 or 8 years worth of work ready to get going. And that's why I decided to go with crowdfunding now instead of paying for all of these out of my pocket, is that so I can get these things moving at a better pace.
That's cool. So the plan for the future is to carry on with Indiegogo then?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, good idea. Sounds good to me.
And then lastly, Megan War here on the left. That's just a small picture. Let me scroll up real quick so I can show you a better. This here, Arias Hernandez from the Philippines is a prolific artist and writer in his native language, which is Tagalog. And he reached out to me and said, I'd really like to publish this under your banner. Would you be willing to do that? And I was, well, okay, I don't know. Let me see what your art looks like. And when he sent me this, I'm like, okay, yes. Yeah, I think the answer is yes. Find out that he's got 64 issues of this already published in the Philippines. So he and I are going to work together to perhaps gather them in trade paperbacks. He's going to send them to me piecemeal in as best a translation as he can muster, and then I'll do the editing to bring it to the English language. Well,
Wow.
I'm sorry, Arya, the American English language. um, but Arias isn't just prolific over there. He's also a Disney animator. He worked on Tarzan, The Lion King, and Kim Possible.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
so he actually has offered to do some animation for me. I can't wait till he and I really get talking about that seriously.
Oh, cool. So you've actually got some artists with a fair bit of experience there working for you. That's cool.
That's right. I think this is going to be great fun. Look for the first issue of Megan War to come out later this year in Indiegogo as well. Now it's mostly going to be obviously his because it's his publication, but I'm going to help him because Indiegogo doesn't allow for their campaigns to be launched or hosted in the Philippines. So that's why he reached out to me.
Yeah, I only just learned about that they're limited to certain countries on Indiegogo. I didn't even know that was an issue. So yeah, so I guess you're helping to get books out that we wouldn't otherwise see, which is really
That's
cool.
that's right. I really like that he reached out to me. This I think will be a fun opportunity, and it'll be a great opportunity for him, of course, to get known.
Hey, that's wicked. Yeah.
As you can see on the screen here, I hope to have a trading card set available later this year. This is sort of a teaser of it. I'm expecting actually to have more cards than just what you see here, and I have someone who's helping me perhaps change the format. We'll see. We're in talks, and he's got some good ideas. So we'll see how it ends up eventually landing. But this is just sort of a sample.
Yeah, that's right up my alley, having a collection of cards instead of one or two random cards.
Oh yes.
I'm a collector, so building a collection or having the ability to, I love that. That's great.
Oh, thank you. And as you can tell by having over 100 characters, I'm probably going. As you can see, I've labeled this set 1. I'm hoping to have, if this is a success, I'll have sets 2, 3, 4. If people keep backing it, then I'll keep making them.
Hey, cool.
I've got plenty. This project here, perhaps we'll talk about another time. This is a trilogy of novels that I've been given the license to adapt into graphic novel form. So things are underway with that one. We'll get into detail, I'm sure, if I can come back on your show when that's ready.
Oh,
but
yeah.
But here, to really get to the point of today, and I thank you for having me on. This is Siamese, the trade paperback. This is the cover that everyone will see. This is the art is by Gilbert Monsanto, also of the Philippines. These 4 covers will be on the inside, but you'll have to see the campaign to see what the 5 variant covers will be like. Trust me, you will like them. This is an example here of some of the swag that will be available with the campaign. So I've got chibi stickers. This is a metal keychain. This is a canvas print. And this print was drawn and colored by Cy Lim from New Zealand. He's the one who co-created the characters, and he too is an animator. He works for a company there called Mighty Ape, which would be New Zealand's version of Amazon. Basically, you can buy everything from cereal to shoes to comic books there.
Cool. When you say co-created, do you mean you were the idea guy and he was the visuals?
That's correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Because I'm no artist. I'm only a lowly writer. Over here on the right, you see that there is a poster which features Siamese and Deanna, Hammer of the Angels, and Siamese is helping her out with her modesty a little bit.
I see.
There will be a poker chip available. This will be a stretch goal, this challenge coin, and there'll be more. There's other items. There's patches and other things that'll be available. This is just sort of a sampling.
Cool.
So what I'd like to do now, if you'll permit me, is to go over to the sign-up page. And as it says here, the Siamese postcard print, like I said, the postcard will be of issue number 4 with the gals in werecat form. The first 2 issues were by Mike Salter. He did the art in this picture here. His day job is he's a fine art portrait painter. So he was a great find. He needed, however, to leave the project. So on issues number 3 and 4, Zilson Costa, who did this over here on the right, did the art. And he's also very, very good. He's from Brazil. He and I have a great rapport, though. So it's wonderful working with Zilson.
Hey, it looks good so far. The artwork that you have up, it looks really good.
Thank you. So now what I'd like to do is show you the trailer, which I had professionally done by Red Gaze. Some of you may be familiar with that guy.
Oh, yeah, we need Red Gaze. Go on, show us your trailer.
Okay, thank you.
From DojoKunComics comes Siamese, the story of two Chinese-American college graduates whose deviation gene made them extraordinary enough to become superheroines. This trade paperback combines the 4-issue Siamese miniseries previously published by DojoKunComics. As our ladies discover their newfound power, we'll be introduced to other DojoKunComics characters such as the Countryman, Breathtaker, Brickhouse, the Scarlet Archer, and Psionica. DojoKunComics has released over a dozen comics so far. You can pledge with confidence knowing that obligations will be fulfilled. Superheroes are coming back. Don't miss out on Siamese.
Hey, that was a really cool trailer.
Oh, thank you.
I love that. We got to see a bit more of your characters there. The artwork from the book looks amazing. You've got a lot of very sexy female characters in this book. I'll just say, it looks really good, my dude. Real quick before we carry on, I'm just gonna shout out to the chat. Goose has shown up. He said he likes the red Asian looking cover. Very cool.
Thanks, Goose.
It looks great. Also, we saw that the cover with the werecats. Is that what you call them?
Yes.
With the, all hulked out monster style. I thought that looks amazing. And sorry, my dog has just come in the room and just
Oh, okay.
also in the chat, Jacobus and Dave have mentioned Twisted Fairy Tales. I'm not ignoring you guys. We'll bring that up at the end and do a nice juicy bit on that. But yeah, that trailer got me hyped for it. It looks great.
Thanks very much. Yes, you know, one thing too, the cover that you mentioned where the girls are werecats, they don't become werecats on purpose. That's them having a bad day. Of course, the guy underneath her looks like he's having a worse day, but and that too, that cover is also going to be a 12 by 18 metal print available as one of the tiers.
Hey, cool. A metal print.
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. Kind of like that company display that you see advertising everywhere on YouTube, if you know what I mean.
I do.
Let me ask you then about these characters. Where did the idea come from for Siamese? When I first saw them, I thought, damn it, that's a great idea. Why didn't I come up with that myself?
Well, that happens to me a lot too. When I see folks with their superheroes, it's like, oh, that's a really awesome name. Why didn't I think of that? But yes, so I've been a longtime fan of Catwoman and Black Cat, and of course, their costumes are somewhat similar. But I also wanted to take this in a different characterization angle. So I like the idea of exploring how twins have a bond between them. These gals, they refer to themselves, even when they're in the singular, they call themselves we. So, you know, they've got that whole idea that they're always together.
Very connected then.
What's that?
They're very connected to one another.
Indeed. If you read the book, you'll see that they're far friendlier than you might expect as well. That's why the cover says mature audiences.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, I got to ask this. I thought about this last night. Please help me understand. Have you heard the term AAT?
AAT?
Yes.
No.
Okay, throughout CG, a lot of folks are talking about it. It stands for ass, titty, and a lot of us like that, right? Yeah. But what I don't understand is why isn't it TTA? Because a gal only has one ass, right? So I'm just wondering.
I mean, it kind of applies in this case. There are two of them.
Oh, that's true.
Quickly, we've got my co-host waiting in the green room, Jacobus. How are you doing, my friend?
Jacobus, good to see you.
I am very well, thank you. And I apologise for being as late as I am.
That's okay. That's okay. So, what have you been up to, my dude?
Well, just that I was trying to get the little one to sleep, but I have been watching along, and I've got to say, DojoKunComics, man, this looks great. Look, I'm on board.
Oh,
from
thanks
what I've
so
seen
much.
so far.
Yeah, to get the updates that I'll soon be sending, please sign up. And by the way, I plan to launch on April 5th. I was telling Arya that it's a Monday night here in the States. It'll be a Tuesday, very early morning for you. It'll be 3 o'clock in the morning for you folks in Wales. But on Tuesday, the 6th, you'll have a chance to take a look at the campaign for real and decide if you're going to back it or not. So I'm hoping you will, of course.
So April 5th launch. And since most of the art, all of the artwork's done already, when can backers expect to have this book in their hands?
So in the campaign, I've given myself a little bit of a leeway. I've said September of this year, but I fully expect that it'll be sooner than that. The reason I do say September, though, is because I need some time to have the tchotchkes made, the keychains forged, and the posters printed and things like that. So that'll be a bit of logistics working on my part. But the book itself, you're not waiting for any artists or colorists or anything like that to get it done. That's all done.
Cool. So it'll be a summer release then?
Yeah, I believe it will. I think perhaps, let's see, if it's launches in April, I plan to go 30 days, another 30. So, probably realistically August they'll be out.
Cool. Yeah, that's a good time. So everyone watching, all the books we mention on this stream are going to be released around the summertime. So remember, I'll remind you now, all the links in the description to the various projects that we'll be talking about. Wait, bring up the campaign page again for us, and we can talk through it a little bit more. In the meantime, Michael's suggesting kicking Jacobus for his poor time management.
Never.
And Dave likes the sound of ass titties.
Does he?
So,
Isn't it ass and titties?
No, you know what? I think that makes sense too. But no, I've always heard it referred to as SS titties.
Oh, you can never have too much ass.
This is true. I'd like to call it titty ass, though. I'm just saying.
I'd call it dinner.
So, you know what? Since we're going to talk about it, this gal in the red with the riding crop, her name is the Equestrian. She's part of a...
Share your screen with me so I can see.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that would be helpful. Let me go back to StreamYard. I may not need audio, but I'm going to select it anyway.
Yeah, there we go.
And then we'll go here. Okay, so now she's on screen. She's in the red and white pants. She's got an equestrian outfit, and that's
cool.
Appropriate. She's the equestrian. She can call into being a fiery Clydesdale-sized spirit horse that fights on her behalf. She is one part of a group of villainous CEOs. And one person in an earlier stream pointed out to me that sounds redundant, villainous CEO. But they are together. They try to obfuscate their real plan by acting as if they're petty thieves, but their real plan is corporate espionage. And while they're robbing from a museum, they run afoul of Siamese in their first issue.
Cool. So so Siamese. Do I say the Siamese twins or Siamese? They are the good guys then in this book.
They are, yes. They have fun being superheroes, and they try to be witty. Although you can see here, this guy that she's attacking is called Rain. He's a weather manipulator. Right. She's a little angry because he blasts Breathtaker with a lightning bolt. So you'll have to see how she fares from that if you take a look at the trade paperback.
Cool. What are these girls' powers then? I mean, obviously cat related, but what are their powers?
That's right. They're super dexterous. They have claws. They are martial artists, and those tails are actually real. They're prehensile tails.
That's a bit freaky.
Yeah, isn't it?
That sounds right up your alley. That does, Aria.
Oh my god. Hey, nice one. The artwork looks great. They're gonna get that free Siamese postcard print when they sign up. That's gonna be real cool. Take us back to your website because you have the
Okay.
rest of the perks on there.
Oh, yes. Something else I'd like to mention. The top tier of my campaign is going to include all 5 of the variant covers, plus the regular cover for the trade paperback, and 1 copy of all of these.
Oh wow.
So yes, you'll get the entire to this date, you'll get the entire Dojo Kun library if you back the top tier.
Hey, that's cool. Do you have any idea about the price point that'll be?
I'm still sort of in development on the price points of the tiers. I think that I've got them locked down, but I'm getting some advice from other folks who have run campaigns before, and I'd like to keep that under wraps until the day of launch because there's a couple of things that are changing. You know, it wasn't until I was on Red Valkyrie's show that they suggested patches might be a good idea. So I did I questioned a few people, and they agreed. So patches had to be added. Also, too, here's some more characters that you'll find in DojoKunComics. Deanna, Hammer of the Angels. This is Starfrost and Fierce. They are a team.
Awesome.
The Electric Eye. That's a bad guy. This is my company's big bad. He's like on the order of like Thanos or Darkseid.
Right.
His name is Mortosis.
What's his powers, abilities then?
His thing is that he gets stronger and stronger the more grief he experiences from others. So he feeds on other people's grief. And he's drawn to Earth by significant events in our history. He wants to find where is this planet that has so much grief on it, because it'll make him so much stronger.
Wow, he sounds like a nice guy.
Doesn't he? He's here for parties. I think COVID probably helped him get stronger too. So,
I like the look of the couple next to him. They look interesting.
They are a married couple. They're both zoologists, and they are the animates. Their power is they can turn into a were form of any animal they've touched.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
A couple of people have asked me, what about mosquitoes? And it's like, wow, I never even thought about that. That could be interesting. And then another person was being all tongue-in-cheek and asked about a giraffe. I don't know how that would help them, but okay.
That's got to be done, though, just to see what it looked like.
Yeah, right? That could be fun. Breathtaker we've talked about, but she, I guess, she's the one she has flight, super strength, and invulnerability. Coltrane would sort of be my company's answer to Power Man or Luke Cage. And then Canadian Shield should be fairly obvious what he's all about. He's a technologically enhanced. He's actually from Canada. He's on the RCMP, Royal Canadian Mounted Police. But, as you probably are aware, most of them actually don't have horses. They're just a police force. And he was selected from their force to be their armored champion.
Cool. He looks like a mix of Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America, but in Canada.
That's right. Based in Canada.
That's cool. That's cool. You've got a really awesome diversity of characters here. It's really cool seeing someone who's already developed their project as a franchise.
It's like he's got the universe ready to go in here.
Yeah,
that's right. So, yeah, I'm glad you mentioned diversity. I think that diversity is extremely important because there'll be people of color, there'll be people of different persuasions and orientations, and that's great. I want to represent that in my story and my characters. However, I'm here to tell you that I will never try to teach you a lesson about those things. Do they have blue eyes? Do they have blonde hair? Do they have brown skin? Those are all just attributes of a person. I'm not going to try to teach you about their blackness or their gayness or anything like that. They're just diverse, and that's just how people are.
Hey, good for you. That's what I like to hear. Yeah. Part of the the philosophy of Comicsgate and all that is story first, politics second. So I like what you're saying.
You know what, Arya? I'm going to have to take that a step further and say story first, politics never.
Okay.
I don't. Kimosabi said this just recently. My friend Aussie, who said, "If you read my comic books, you should not be able to tell if I'm left right, or center. And I agree.
I agree with that.
Yep, you shouldn't be able to tell. It just now that doesn't mean that nothing in today's current politics might be mentioned, but I'm not going to expound on it. I'm not going to preach on it or placate. It might just be, you know, a sign of the times, but I'm leaving everyone to draw their own conclusions.
Okay, cool. I tell you what, my friend, this project looks awesome. Getting you on the show now has got me proper hyped up for it. Like,
Thank
watching
you.
that trailer has got me in the mood for a little bit of Siamese. It looks great.
Thanks so much.
I think purely from just the idea alone, I think it's a simple but great idea that I'm actually very jealous that I didn't think of before you. I think this is really cool. So, guys, remember, links in the description. You can sign up to the mailing list, and you're going to receive a free print of that really cool Werecat cover, which I think is amazing. Make sure you sign up. You're going to get this awesome trade paperback with a load of bonus content, and you're also going to have a bunch of other tiers on this campaign where you can access all the other various books that DojoKunComics has put out before. Is there anything else you want to share with us? Like, where can we find you online before we move on to another project?
Oh, sure. Thank you. My Twitter handle is @BDMenard, B as in Brian, D as in Dennis. And online, my website, am I still sharing my screen? Can you see it?
Yeah, you see it.
Okay. So right here, it's dojokuncomics.wixsite.com/DojoKunComics. This entire website, I'm the one who put it together and I maintain it. So if you scroll down, let me just go way past. These are comic books I worked on before at other companies, so you got a chance to have a look at those anyway. And then down here, you'll see all of the shows I've been on, and I of course will add Let's Talk with Aria Black.
Hey, awesome.
It'll be at the top. I put the most recent at the top.
Well, I'm glad we got you on the show.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
We're not done yet, though.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna hang around and hear what you guys have coming up.
Oh yeah, stick around. So, Jacobus,
Yes.
you still here, my dude?
I am still here.
Awesome. I tell you what, I'm going to hand over the floor to you right now. I've got a little something I'm about to throw up on screen. I know you know what it is. Why don't you tell the viewers a little something about this?
Well, this is the Bargain Bins joint project, Twisted Fairy Tales, which is an anthology featuring many published and many unpublished creators, giving them a chance to showcase their work, because it's a really hard thing to crack into, isn't it, to go from being not published to being published.
Oh yeah.
So we're just trying to give them a little bit of a hand. It increases their portfolio, it helps us out. Yeah, I mean, so far, let's just check. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 stories inside being worked on. We started off with a lot less, but because we opened it up to basically anyone, if they wanted to submit a script, we had it look over. If it was good enough, we was chucking it in, and the response to that has been incredible. Yeah, each fairy tale has a twist of some sort. It's either a twist ending or a twist in theme, which is a good way, I think, to showcase writers' abilities as well as the artist abilities. It gives them like some set boundaries to work inside and see what they can come up with. And from what I've seen, some of them have been amazingly hilarious. And I can't even say, man, look, it's not going to be what you expect.
We don't have a lot of the artwork done yet, but we have a few pieces. And from what I've seen so far, it's looking hilarious. It's looking great.
Yeah, I mean, when we launched the mailing list, we was on 24 pages. So far, we are on 39 pages.
We've got Dave in the chat saying 11 stories, 3 to 8 pages long. That's anywhere between 33 and 88 pages currently.
Yeah, we are on 39 story pages at the moment. There are going to be other things inside where we go a little bit in detail about who the creators are, like what projects they've done or what they're working on.
Okay. So this could be quite a big book by the end of it, by the time everyone's added their work to it. We'll mention as well, we're running a competition. So Jacobus briefly mentioned that if you send us a 4 to 8 page story via our Twitter, which is here, it's CGUK Bargain Bin. So if you send us a DM with your 2 to 4 page story, you'll be in with a chance of getting it drawn into the book. So make sure you get on that and follow us on Twitter, because we trying to expand the show and get a few more eyeballs on it.
Yeah, in terms of the submission as well, if you've never written like a comic script before, just submit it in a story format, and one of us will sit down through like a offline StreamYard thing and go through with you and help you turn it into a script. Like, we're not going to do that. We're going to help you and teach you and show you things on how you can do that.
So the goal is to get people who don't have experience, who have previously unpublished, is to get them that experience and get them into an actual published book.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cheers, Neve, for posting the links in the chat for the Twitter and for the mailing list. Thanks, guys, who came out to watch the show today. Oh, real quick, before we get done, it's almost time to wrap up the show. I'll just mention one more time. The Adventures of Taylor in Outer Space is on Indiegogo. I told you all about this earlier, so I won't repeat myself too much. But free merch by Chubb when you sign up. I'll quickly scroll through the campaign. The first time you're going to get all 6, potentially 7 Taylor mini comics in one place, in one beautiful collected edition. So make sure you follow the link below. Sign up today. Remember, Twisted Fairy Tales is also on Indiegogo. You can sign up today. We were just talking about it just now. Again, links in the description. Head on over, sign up to that. And the show of the hour, the Siamese trade paperback by DojoKunComics. This looks great. I know you guys in the chat have been saying this looks great. Make sure you at least sign up today. Make sure you back the book when the project launches in April. This looks amazing. I'll scroll through the page quickly so you can see some of that beautiful art one more time before we wrap up. I got to say, this picture over here looks great. The art is really clean. The poses are amazing. That action sequence where she's jumping from the tree looks brilliant. So
thank you so much.
Thanks so much for coming on the show. It's been a really good one so far.
It's great to meet you guys over in the UK.
Okay. Yeah. So, Jacobus, any last things to say before we go?
Make sure you head tomorrow at 8 p.m. Make sure you head over to my YouTube channel, where we will be having the Bargain Bin show. We are doing a draw along. I don't want to say with who, just in case they can't make it, but we are doing a draw along. We've got 2 guests in total coming on, and it will be absolutely amazing. So tomorrow at 8 o'clock UK time, which is a different time somewhere else.
I believe that's 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
That's correct.
So cheers for coming, K Manifesto. Thanks for joining in today. DojoKun, any last words before we call it a day?
Just thank you for having me on. It's great to meet not only the new guys here, well, you're new to me, but also some of the folks in the chat that I haven't been able to hang out with before. So I appreciate the opportunity. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. All right, we'll call it a day. Thanks, everyone, for coming along and checking out this Let's Talk.